with caution.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Red Alert Global League Season 13 playoffs. My name is Caution and we will be casting the playoffs between Gacius and Cav, aka Marco from Red Alert 2, who is just raiding us. Thank you very much and welcome everyone. It seems like Marco brought his entire crew over to see him potentially crushing this man. We're gonna see how he does against Gacius. Gacius is very well known in the CNC tree community, and he has been playing OpenRA for quite a bit as well. Tonight, I am going to be joined by none other than Milkman, who is pretty much responsible for hosting all the RGL servers. He's been an admin as well, and he has, I think you're pretty much in control for Ladder, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's Mr. Milkman joining us tonight. He will be joining later, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, we're just now awaiting for Cav, aka Marco. Not entirely. I actually have to ask him why he refers to himself as Cav in OpenRA and his name Marco in RA2. But yeah, thank you for the follow, Murder Tom and Ollie Rowe. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys are going to have a great time watching your boy in action tonight. It's gonna be great. So far, Cav has had a pretty amazing run in the group stages so far. Out of all the 14 games he played, he only lost 2 and he won all the other ones. And he's currently in second place on the group stages. So he's going to face Gacius, Blacken is going to face Maceman, and then that will decide who is going to play in the finals. And here we go, talking about the man himself. It is Mr. Cav.
Battle control.
And we're just getting straight into it. My man shows up, presses the ready button, yeah, and he's just good to go.
So
this is
hi,
crazy.
everyone.
Oh, welcome, Milkman. Glad you could join us. All right, so we have Cav in the top right, aka Marco, playing as Russia. We've got Gacius as well, also playing Russia. So we're playing on greener pastures, and to be fair, I kind of expected this. Like, hands down, this is probably the most popular map this season. What do you think?
Yeah, probably the one we've seen the most. But actually, it was preset for the finals, so the semifinals. Both.
Yeah, it was, but you can see why, right?
Greener pastures.
Yeah, because everyone plays it. Like it was the obvious choice. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be an interesting match. Cav has been very dominant in this particular season so far. Like I said, he only lost twice. Let me just have a sneak peek who that was. He lost one game versus Dang. And he lost versus Blackened as well. But Dang forfeited, so that loss didn't count anymore. So it's most likely going to be Cav versus Blackened in the finals. Unless Gacius has something to say about that.
We'll see. Blackened rolled Calf pretty hard. Rushed him 2 times basically, and I think Gacius's game against Calf on this exact map was one of the closest that Calf played, apart from those he lost. So it was over 20 minutes. I think it was a grueling game.
Yeah, I actually thought about this. Like Cav is very good when there's like basic build order stuff going on. So like when he was playing GOAT in season 12, I believe they had an amazing finals because, you know, it went to late game and it was just who was the better player. It was anything about having, you know, advantages over each other. It was just pure and simple who is going to have the better flanks, who is going to have the better composition and better micro at that point. But in this season and also season 12, the only games that Cav lost in season 12 was, if I remember correctly, against Anju, who did like a light tank, like cheese, like a rush. He did like 4 or 5 light tanks and he just succumbed to that pressure. And I remember Blacken, just like you said, doing something very similar.
Yeah. It was a light tank rush. At least
exactly.
One of the games was. Yeah.
But if it's going to be like a regular game, like pretty much, let's say double ref versus double ref, it's going to be really hard to beat someone like Cav. And just like that, Cav had a very poor engagement in the top left. And oh, but a remaining scout here. Oh no, he pulls it. Oh, he still sees it. No. Oh, he didn't see it. Oh, he didn't see it. Wow, the engineer with a crippled leg. Yeah. Mercy has been shown on this poor engineer. And he will fight another day, or probably cap a building another day. In the meantime, Cav is probably going to chill out and relax a little bit. He's lost most of his army early on. So for now, he's probably just gonna play it simple. Use the APC to get some oils going. He recaptured that back in the top left. And yeah, it's gonna be a quiet period for now.
The previous game, what led to the game going on long was Cav losing a lot of his army pretty early. He tried a base push in the west, midwest here, and basically lost that base push attempt and donated like 11k army and was basically down to zero, and it was a comeback from there. But yeah, so I guess he won't be as aggressive as to not lose his early army.
I mean, he did lose most of his early army.
Yeah, but not as harshly as in that game, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair to say. He is definitely at a disadvantage if you look at the combat tab. Gacius is already at 8.3k army value versus 5.8 from Cav. Cav is getting that oil in the bottom right though, under Gacius's nose. Say goodbye to that. That's some extra income. So yeah, Cav has to take, but you know, like if Cav takes one good engagement back, it's gonna be equal again. If not, maybe in his advantage.
Yeah, and he's ahead with the MCV quite significantly.
Yep, wins for
Gacius
MCV.
is going for mass Rex.
Yeah, now Gacius also went for a heavy tank first. So he's going to have a really strong presence in the early game. So it's all gonna come down to, it's either going to be a big engagement, which will be in Gacius's favor, but if he's unlucky and faces Cav in like a defensive position behind like a flame tower or two, he's going to have a really bad time. Is that a second engineer? Oh no, look, the engineer got killed earlier, the one with the crippled leg. That one got killed by a scout, but Gacius made a new one and took that oil for himself. And in the meantime, Gacius is setting up for an attack on the main base, but look at these double flame towers already from Cav. It seems like he's expecting it. He's taking precautions. Yep. He's going in, but his heavy tank is not in a good position. Oh my god, these flame towers might actually do some serious damage. A third one coming in as well. Look at that position outside of the range of the infantry. Heavy tank moves in front. This is really good from Gacius. He's gonna recover from that. Flame tower not being microed, but so far Gacius not getting that much damage. Another flame tower pops. This is actually not good for Gacius.
Yeah, that's basically a donation.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a good attack, but unfortunately he had to deal with the triple flame tower straight away. And that gave Cav enough time to send his army back.
Oh,
the only thing he lost...
will find a harvester on the left.
Oh, yep, this is a pretty good extra attack. That is true. But he's now 6k down in army value. However, this might be a good way to recover from that. Harvester is going to be pulled back. Or no, he has second opinions. It seems like he wants to die. I think he actually pressed the ore patch on the right. And because the harvester was full, he was like, oh wait, I need to unload first, man. I can't go over there. That's unfortunate.
Look, an empty refinery. Just filled with enemy infantry.
Look at that engagement in the bottom. Very good concave for Cav. Defense from Gacius is there, but it's not going to be enough. 2 harvesters already going down. That expansion might get lost. Very good position of the flame tower. It's going to get some decent value. But Cav is going to take what he could get. He's going to kill that refinery, kill 2 harvesters, and he's going to back off for now. Granted, Gacius does still have 2 MCVs. Heavy tank here in the main base. Already killed a harvester. Yeah, this is
Yeah, but he will be on the defense now. His army in the top gets wiped.
Yep.
And then Calf going for main. Gacius has to go back, and then he has nothing to counter attack anywhere.
Yeah, he's gonna lose his war factory. No, he's gonna call the GG just like that. Calf takes the first game under 10 minutes.
Yeah, so the other game they played was on Pity Light, and Calf won that in 420. So.
What a time to win 420.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going into the second game. Gacius has picked Abendland. Cav doesn't want to ban anything. And here we go. Let's see what we have this time. Wow. Is this going to be a playoff full of Soviets? We've got Gacius playing as Ukraine. And Cav once again got Russia. So this one is also one of the more popular maps. I feel like Greener Pastures, this one, and Einar are probably among the top 3 most played. I might be missing a few. Maybe like Assault is in there as well.
Yeah. Territorial, I think, is pretty high up.
Yeah.
Elevation, the one with the forward command.
Oh yeah, that's a good one as well.
I mean, mostly the maps got picked that have the least strange stuff happening on them. So we have seen our share of Isle of Wight and Minions, but I don't think Masters even played it.
No, and to be honest, to be fair, I would not have picked that map either. Like, don't want to see it. Mood's asking, where are the hentai strats from Gacius? I have no idea. Maybe you should be playing Tiberian Aurora instead, so we could play with cat girls.
Yeah, it's the cheese trap map, right?
Yeah, it pretty much is.
If there was a term before it, but Hans called a map last season, called it the cheese trap, because he was so lured into doing all kinds of crazy stuff on the map because of all the crazy layout of the map. So
yeah, and I think it's also the only map in this current map pool that actually allowed naval to be played, which, you know, always gets a +1 in my book. All right, well, this time around Gacius went for 1 ref war factory, so he's gonna have a little bit less of a presence in the early game compared to Cav's double ref opening. But he will have access to vehicles a lot faster and faster eco eventually. And he's going to go with the APC. Yeah, this all comes down to how Gacius is going to use his APC in order to turn this in his favor. Seems like Cav is not building rocket soldiers yet, which is kind of interesting to me because, like, he's seen little to no presence from Gacius so far. Oh no! Oh, is Gacius going to see the engineer? Oh, what he saw a glimpse of it, but I don't think he himself saw it. But the APC's vision did see it for a split second. Cav knows he's going to be too late to do anything about this, so he's going to let that be taken by Gacius. In the meantime, Cav is going to take the one in the middle for himself. Surname was not so bad, first name was totally bad. Oh dear god. Well, at least I told you in advance it's gonna be really bad. Who is the GOAT in this game? Actually, very funny. Most people assumed that to be GOAT. But due to a lack of competitiveness, there was a small gap where there weren't really that many top players, so the player named GOAT actually dropped out. And our current RGL champion from last season was Despro. Despro, a very incredible player, very innovative, brought something very fresh to the game, and is currently now seen as the top player along with Dang, and I would say Cav as well. But unfortunately, Dang had to forfeit due to medical reasons. I know he has a wrist injury, and he did actually play in this season. He played a couple of games, but His injury became too much to handle, so he forfeited. And our previous Raggle champion, Despero, unfortunately, he had a rough work week. He had six hours of work. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but due to his working life, he unfortunately got a couple of strikes, missed a couple of matches, and he was disqualified.
Actually, they say 60, not 6 hours of work.
Yeah, I said 60. If it was 6, then he had no excuse. Definitely true.
But yeah, I guess Kaf has something to prove, right? He never won RGL.
No, he got very close.
Goat.
Yeah, he got very close in season 12 against Goat. It was an incredible finals, to be honest. And so was their group stage games too. Hopefully, maybe someday Goat will return to the game. I was actually kind of like, he was interested because he was talking in the Discord a while earlier that he was slightly interested too. He was considering actually joining. Nice scatter command here from Cav. He avoided a lot of crushes there with the double APC and almost killed both of them as well.
Yeah, it almost looked incidental. Like, I don't think Gacius planned on going in there. Just stumbled upon the army with his 2 APCs. So it's just run forward or die. Yeah.
Yep, and once again, this is going to be rough. Both MCVs are here from Gacius. And the MCV from Cav is going to try and contest Dispatch. I don't think he has any idea that Gacius was here, but Gacius is going to reveal himself to Cav here because of the oil. And Gacius is going to go in. Now, he does have 2 heavy tanks, so technically it is doable, but with the static defense support from Cav, it's going to be very rough, and he could end up in the same situation as last time. But he's going to base scroll. Unfortunately, his army wasn't there in time to support, but he's going to be able to pick off some infantry here, and actually Cav might be in a pickle. Tesla coil being made by killing infantry instead of the tank. Yeah, this is all Gacius right now. This has been a crazy engagement, but Gacius comes out on top. Cav has to retreat. Tesla coil for Gacius as well. A little bit of an awkward position. It's not going to really help him out to kill the rest of this base. But luckily for Cav, the MCV gets away with a sliver of health. But still, I wouldn't say that Cav is in a bad situation completely. The army values are still fairly close. He didn't necessarily lose that much eco, but he will be forced to get another expansion sooner or later if he wants to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that much ore left.
Nope, he can pretty much only go north.
Will get contested in a second by Gacius.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, look at that heavy tank in Gacius' main base. 2 harvesters got killed by 1 single heavy tank. That's value.
But I guess this is shaping up nicely. So we have Gacius in the lead, Cav a bit on the back foot. I think this could be interesting.
Yep. Hey, what's up, Amprin? And Xaxel is right in time. Yes, you are, man. Yes, you are. So yeah, like I said, very similar army values for Cav and Gacius. Cav actually ahead, but he's on 6 Raxes currently versus 7 from Gacius right now. Yeah, this is gonna be rough for Cav to defend. He has to give up that ore patch as well, which is more eco lost. But this is smart from Gacius. He hasn't seen any resistance from Cav so far. So he realizes that Cav's army must be lingering somewhere else, and he is right, but unfortunately he might be a little bit too late to defend it. Harvester immediately going down. The other one has to retreat as well if he wants to survive. No. Reactions were not there. Oh, Gacius actually might have an issue here with this little rubble.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, it's not an army you can just, in an offhand command, delete. He has to chase him. big enough army.
Yeah, Gash is going for a split here, but I think he might have underestimated the army from Cav. He might actually lose this engagement, but then again, he got Defender's advantage. Yep, that one heavy tank is gonna cut it for Cav. Oh no, oh no. Gacius just can't keep up. Now he's getting flanked in the north as well. This is turning around yet again. And how fast as well. Like, Cav is now up almost 5k army value. The MCV is going to get caught as well. It's going to be too late for it to escape. Gacius reacted way too late.
Oh my. 7/3 harvesters. So.
Yep. What a turnaround yet again. This is so crazy. Look at all these rockets that survived from the engagement earlier in the main base. They're going to take out another harvester.
Yeah.
And this has just completely turned around.
Yeah, Gacius is gonna call it in a minute.
Yep.
Not
Yeah, he's getting
drag it
played.
out.
Look at the army on the left side. He's completely trying to chase an army that is already in his main base. He moved away everything he had where he was putting pressure. That is getting attacked now as well. He lost another harvester, and Gacius is down to one harvester. Even if he does defend this attack, there's no way for him to make this comeback. Yeah, almost no rockets in that army. That heavy tank is staying alive for so long. Gacius calls the GG, and just like that, Cav is going to be up 2-0. He is on set point to advance in these playoffs. We're gonna look at the graphs real quick. And yeah, actually Cav did a pretty good job for losing that base push expansion early on. He was always or even or above in terms of earnings, and the army graph says a lot as well. Pretty crazy fight. And yeah, we're going to move on to the next game, and I just focused on doing the commentating instead. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened actually. I sometimes still do play here and there, play some team games, you know, and play some casual 1v1s.
Yeah, just drop in, claim to be super rusty, and take the win over some Masters player, right?
Yeah, I could actually do that. I mean, I did it against Gacius not too long ago when he was practicing for... I actually don't know. I think it was at the start of this season where he was practicing for RGL. And yeah, I won 2-0, I think.
Yeah, and we actually see the cheese trap map, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about this. Isle of Wight normally never being picked. And I think this is actually the very first pick in the Masters season. This is a multi-spawn map, so there are 4 spawns on this map, all pretty much the same. But this is the only map that allows naval pretty much, and this is the reason why it mostly isn't picked. Naval is, I would say it's fairly imbalanced. Allies is definitely stronger in terms of naval. Especially like cruisers and destroyers are just way too good in combination. Whereas missile subs, and I guess that's pretty much it. I feel like Soviets just misses that like a destroyer kind of ship. Like destroyers is pretty good, like it can attack land and air. It's pretty good as anti-air damage. And cruisers is just ridiculous in terms of range. And Soviet does have missile sub, but I feel like it's way worse. Especially when it emerges from the water, it takes a while before it shoots, so it's very, very vulnerable to air. And, well, like I said, cruisers can be kept safe by the destroyers. And Soviet doesn't really have anything like that. Chat demands you try and win next season. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. I don't need to prove anything. Watch. I got it. Okay, I need to be careful because otherwise it's gonna fall to the floor. But I got it right here. See? Okay, let me take this off. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna focus. but this is from December 2021. It says first. Can you see that? Yeah. See first. First season 11 Minions champion. Ya boy Caution. A fun fact actually, the Minions finals was between me and Gacius. And that pretty much got me to be promoted into Masters the next season. And then I decided not to play. Good times, good times. But yeah, I have thought about it a lot of times, to be honest. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting match, to be fair. Like, if I know Cav, he's most likely going to expand to the bottom right of his base. And I believe Gacius is probably going to take the middle first.
Yeah, like you have a second base spot right next to you, right? If your opponent doesn't spawn there, that's the logical way to go, maybe.
Yeah, definitely is.
Which in turn means it could make sense to push the other side, but to try and deny your opponent the exact same spot.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this will play
It's a
out.
huge map.
It is definitely huge.
Gacius not with the best placement on his third ref, so...
Oh wow, yeah, that is very, very poor. Sheesh. And also, Cav managed to snipe an engineer from Gacius in the bottom right. So he is going to have 2 oils in his possession on land. But there are oils in the corners as well, only reachable by transports. Yeah, this is very slow build up so far, but already Cav is ahead almost 4k army value this early on with not that many engagements to be seen. Yeah, like I expected, Cav is usually one of those players that chooses eco over map control most of the time. Gacius is gonna be a little bit more preemptive. Oh, he changed his mind. Never mind. His ref was ready to go, so he didn't want to lose that downtime. But yeah, he's immediately going to move out, and Cav is not going to do that. Yeah, this is
I think Gacius is pretty impressive in his MCV movements.
Yeah.
He just has these games where it's just drop a building, move MCV, drop a building, move MCV, and suddenly he won. So it's just, he comes into your base with MCV.
Yeah, he's a very good macro player, for sure. I agree with that. But the problem is he's in a very bad spot. Like, he's still down almost 5k army value. If both of these armies just face head-to-head, he's gonna have a rough time and therefore lose the game. So he needs to be very careful about how he approaches this game so far. But yeah, how are you going to do that? If he can destroy all these heavy tanks that Cav will send over one by one, then eventually he might be able to catch up, because heavy tanks are quite expensive. But that also means he has to scout an attack incoming, and he has to make use of his pillboxes. He has to make sure that Cav runs into a very well defended fortification from Gacius. Oh, this might be rough, but actually, no, Gacius is going to retreat. Not that many armor is here for Cav, so him running into these pillboxes might not be the best strategy. Oh, that's a really bad pillbox. Not enough value was gotten out of that one. If he placed a little bit further into his base, he would have been able to snipe all this. But this is what I was talking about, just head-to-head combat here between Cav and Gacius. Obviously, Cav was going to come out on top due to the quantity that he had. And yeah. Let's see how this will turn out. Gacius is relying on this sneak attack to work out. Flame Tower is ready to go, and it's going to be placed immediately.
I mean, he would have to clean up everything there, and that's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. Yeah.
Yep, Gacius knows what time it is, just like that. Wow. This was a very short playoffs, but your boy Cav took it 3-0 over Gacius. So that means...
No nonsense.
Exactly. This man doesn't mess around.
Battle control.
He just
So it's
commands
straight for the gold.
and conquers.